Coming in to join us again.
Yeah, next, the only woman ever to hold the position of White House doctor.
It's 11 p.m. Do you know where your children...
For a lot more kids.
Happy holidays!
Do you know how many women have held the job of White House physician? Maybe, in fact, you'd guess that none have, but that's not the right answer. And being White House physician to John F. Kennedy was only one of this woman's remarkable achievements. So now let's meet Dr. Janet Travell, this week's Woman of Distinction.
Happy birthday to you.
Recently, a group of doctors and patients, relatives and friends gathered together at a hotel in Bethesda, Maryland to celebrate the 90th birthday of Dr. Janet Travell.
You have heard many people speak of the autumn of their lives, and I have said that I am now in the winter of my life. And there's nothing wrong with that. I became cold adapted when I was a youngster. Thank you.
They came from all over the country to pay tribute to this woman in the winter of her life, a woman whose probing intellect and powers of healing combined to create one of the most remarkable careers in modern medicine.
I was 7 years old when I said I wanted to study medicine. My father was a physician, and he had a brother who was a physician. We had, when I grew up, we had 8 physicians in my family, immediate family, and 4 of them were women. Well, when I entered medical school in 1922, we had about 25% women in the class, about 1/4, roughly. But right after we graduated, and the veterans were ready to enter medical school, and the number of women came down almost overnight to almost 0. I used to catch a ride every now and then in the car with the chairman of the admissions office. And he'd look at me and he'd say, you know, women shouldn't study medicine. I say, oh, how about me? He said, oh, well, you're an exception.
Dr. Travell's medical curiosity led her to look at why people experience muscle pain, where it comes from, and how to prevent it. This, in turn, brought her to such non-medical areas as designing chairs and workplace environments. She helped the airlines build a better seat, and even the John Deere Tractor Company came knocking at her door.
And they had a lever that was over here, and I moved that, and I did this, and I did that. And we did over the whole John Deere seating design. It's a lot of fun.
There you go.
She established a field of study where there was none before in the treatment of myofascial pain syndrome, or in other words, muscle pain.
That's wonderful. Most people do have myofascial pain. Myo is muscle, and fascia, the connective tissue covering of the muscle. And the skeletal musculature is the biggest organ in the body. It's nearly half the body weight. And if something wrong with it, you can't eat, you can't speak, you can't walk, you can't breathe. And it's essential to everything, and nearly everybody strains and abuses their muscles.
One person in particular who suffered from muscle pain was a young senator from the state of Massachusetts.
John F. Kennedy was referred to me as a regular patient in the ordinary routine in May 1955, and he came to see me in New York, and I took care of him as I would any patient, and eventually he was elected president, and he just kidnapped me and took me to Washington with him.
Janet Travell became the White House doctor for the Kennedy family and stayed on for the first year of President Johnson's term in office. She is the first and only woman to have served as the White House physician.
Well, it's an extraordinary experience, and it can't be described in a few words. It's like living in the eye of a hurricane. It's very calm and very quiet, and everything around is spinning like mad and whirling. Extraordinary person, wonderful intellect and caring. I never regretted that I pulled up and left New York. But stand up and stretch. Stand up. Good for you.
Part of Dr. Travell's healing philosophy is the importance of communication. Getting a good medical history is often the key to a patient's recovery.
I have so many patients who've complained of shoulder pain, and I say, well, show me, where is your shoulder pain? Well, show me where it is. Well, I can't quite reach it, you know. I can't reach it. It's right down here in my shoulder. The next one will say, well, right in my shoulder, right here. The next one will say, well, right in my shoulder, right here. And maybe 1 out of 4 had a pain in the shoulder.
I came from Italy to celebrate with her. I live in Italy, and I came over specially to be with her today.
In her 64 years of practicing medicine, Dr. Travell also managed to raise 2 daughters. She now has 6 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. Her husband, John Powell, is deceased.
There you have it this way, and the problem is it's also tightness of internal rotation, so you're right, you have to go straight.
Her influence in the medical community is widespread. Chiropractors, allergists, anesthesiologists, even dentists have all been affected by Janet Travell's groundbreaking work.
Sort of like whoever invented television. There wasn't television before whoever that person was. There was no muscle medicine before Janet Travell.
A time when we were at a conference, and there was a dentist who had broken his elbow some 30 years before, and he could not turn his hand fully upright before our eyes. She had the fellow's arm fully movable, and in fact, and that was in minutes. And this was some 30 years of inability to move, and his problem never recurred.
I can sum it up on the faces of the people that I treat. They come to me in agony, sometimes with tears running down their face. To be able to remove that and allow them to assume a normal life, this woman has provided us that opportunity.
Dr. Travell has written 2 books and hundreds of articles on muscle pain management, and her philosophy on life indicates that she's not about to stop now.
I went to a Chinese restaurant one night, and my Chinese fortune cookie said, and this is a wonderful statement, it is better to wear out than to rust out. Now, that's correct, isn't it?
It sounds great to me. Happy 90th year, Dr. Travell. And we'll be right back with a little music for you.
Do you ever look at the other side of